Congressman Adam Schiff is accusing informal presidential advisor Roger Stone of lying. Schiff is the ranking Dem on the House Intel Committee and a constant presence. You always see him on cable news, not this show, however. He claims that Stone's testimony to the committee last September conflicted with the established facts. Here to respond is Roger Stone, author of the new book. I have it in my living room, Stone's Rules. And it's hilarious. I love it. Roger, you're apparently a liar, says Adam Schiff. I know you're in your crying towel all day and night, very upset about it. But react to what he said.
I hate to say this, Laura, but it's just more bullshit from the congressman from California. It's even hard to know what he's talking about. If he's referring to the Twitter direct messages which were leaked to The Atlantic that proved that I had no collaboration with WikiLeaks, I turned those over to the House Intelligence Committee last September. If he's referring to the emails that were cited by the Wall Street Journal that proved that I had no direct contact or source and was using a back channel, why those fell outside the precisely worded scope of the Intelligence Committee's request, a scope co-signed by Mr. Schiff himself. The real issue here, Laura, is very clear. Mr. Schiff has said that he has seen, quote, significant evidence of Russian collusion in the 2016 election. He has produced none, zero. Of course he'd like to change the subject. My testimony before the House Intelligence Committee was entirely truthful.
This is what he said. He said, certainly the testimony of Don Jr., Eric Prince, Roger Stone, and others is inconsistent with the public reports of meetings, conversations, and other facts that have now been established. And if so, those public reports are accurate, then clearly they were not telling the truth. Don't you love how he worded it? That's like Clintonian wording. If the public reports are accurate. Yeah, well, again, I think they now, Roger, know that there is no there there. They're trying to tap it into Papadopoulos, that poor hapless figure, that old Carter Page, and he's seen his fortunes go down the tubes because of all of this. He's fighting in court. You have all these convictions of these tertiary figures, except for the deal with Manafort. That we'll see where that goes, and his associate. But I think they're coming up empty, and so they have to keep it in the press somehow. They have to keep it going somehow with these little sparks of supposed interest. But I really don't think it works.
Well, you may remember, Laura, I wanted to testify in public, in a public hearing, so everybody could say it. Now I've been asked to testify for the Intelligence Committee on the Senate side. I respectfully request that that be in public. Let the TV cameras roll.
You just want to sell your book, Roger. I'm just teasing you. Well, I agree. Like, what is possibly going to be involved? I mean, I think they know, again, they know that they've come up with goose eggs, and they don't want to be humiliated. These people, you can't get between them and a camera, usually. So if they don't want it to be on camera, it's not because of classified information. By the way, Oleg Deripaska apparently also wanted to testify. He said he'd testify. He didn't claim he wanted immunity. He wanted to do it in public. The billionaire who they tried to get roped into this collusion thing, he said, this is ridiculous. And they wouldn't have him come testify. They haven't brought that Russian lawyer in from the Trump Tower meeting, Velitsinskaya. She said, I'm happy to come. They won't talk to her. So, I mean, if these are, key figures like this lawyer, why wouldn't they bring the Russian lawyer in? It's curious.
Well, look, having come up empty-handed with any evidence of Russian collusion, having come up empty-handed of any hijinks regarding allegedly hacked emails with WikiLeaks, now they want to concoct some new crime, or I should say new offense, in an attempt to get me to testify against the president. This is not only ridiculous, but it's very expensive, Laura. This threatens to bankrupt my family. I've had to set up the StoneDefenseFund.com because I can no longer bear these legal expenses.
Well, that's what they do, though, isn't it? They turn the screws on people. They say we'll ultimately destroy your family, in not so many words. And then they get these low-level figures to say, okay, stop, I'll tell you whatever you want. And if I have to say I lied, I'll say I lied. And then they get a 1001 conviction and a plea, and then it's over. So that's how it works. That's the game that's always played. And in this case, there's a political animus involved. Roger, thank you so much.